In gambling parlance, making a book is the practice of laying bets on the various possible outcomes of a single event. The term originates from the practice of recording such wagers in a hardbound ledger and gives the English language the term bookmaker for the person laying the bets and thus making the book. Making a book. A bookmaker strives to accept bets on the outcome of an event in the right proportions so that he makes a profit regardless of which outcome prevails. See Dutch book and coherence. This is achieved primarily by adjusting what are determined to be the true odds of the various outcomes of an event in a downward fashion. The odds quoted for a particular event may be fixed or may fluctuate to take account of the size of wagers placed by the bettors in the run-up to the actual event. This article explains the mathematics of making a book in the case of the former event. For the second method, see pari-mutuel betting, it is important to understand the relationship between odds and relative probabilities. Thus, odds of AB represent a relative probability of B/A plus B. For example, 6-4 is 4/6 plus 4 equals 4/10 equals 0.4. A relative probability of X represents odds of X. For example, 0.2 is /0.2 equals 0.8/0.2 equals 4/1. Example equals, in considering a football match that can be either a home win, draw or away win, then the following odds might be encountered to represent the true chance of each of the three outcomes: home evens, draw, 2-1, away, 5-1. These odds can be represented as relative probabilities as follows. Evens corresponds to a relative probability of 1/2, 2-1 corresponds to a relative probability of 1/3, 5-1 corresponds to a relative probability of 1/6. By adding the percentages together, a total book of 100% is achieved. The bookmaker, in his wish to avail himself of a profit, will invariably reduce these odds. Consider the simplest model of reducing, which uses a proportional decreasing of odds. For the above example, the following odds are in the same proportion with regard to their relative probabilities: home 4-6, draw, 6-4, away, 4-1. 4-6 corresponds to a relative probability of 3/5, 6-4 corresponds to a relative probability of 2/5, 4-1 corresponds to a relative probability of 1/5. By adding these percentages together, a book of 120% is achieved. The amount by which the actual book exceeds 100% is known as the overround. It represents the bookmaker's potential profit if he is fortunate enough to accept bets in the exact proportions required. Thus, in an ideal situation, if the bookmaker accepts £120 in bets at his own quoted odds in the correct proportion, he will pay out only £100 no matter what the actual outcome of the football match. Examining how he potentially achieves this, a stake of £60 at 4-6 returns £100 for a home win. A stake of £40 at 6-4 returns £100 for a drawn match. A stake of £20 at 4-1 returns £100 for an away win. Total stakes received €120 and a maximum payout of £100 irrespective of the result. This £20 profit represents a 162.3% profit on turnover. In reality, bookmakers use models of reducing that are more complicated than the model of the ideal situation. Overround on multiple bets, when a punter combines more than one selection in, for example, a double, treble or accumulator, then the effect of the overround in the book of each selection is compounded to the detriment of the punter in terms of the financial return compared to the true odds of all of the selections winning and thus resulting in a successful bet. To explain the concept in the most basic of situations, an example consisting of a double made up of selecting the winner from each of two tennis matches will be looked at. In match 1 between players A and B, both players are assessed to have an equal chance of winning. The situation is the same in match 2 between players C and D. In a fair book in each of their matches, that is, each has a book of 100%, all players would be offered at odds of evens. However, a bookmaker would probably offer odds of 5-6 on each of the two possible outcomes in each event. This results in a book for each of the tennis matches of 109.09%, calculated by 100, that is 9.09% overround. there are 4 possible outcomes from combining the results from both matches, the winning pair of players could be AC, AD, BC or BD. As each of the outcomes for this example has been deliberately chosen to ensure that they are equally likely, it can be deduced that the probability of each outcome occurring is 1 of 4 or 0.25 and that the odds against each one occurring is 3-1. A bet of 100 units on any of the winning combinations would produce a return of 100 or equals 400 units. As detailed below, the actual return on any of these winning doubles is obtained by multiplying stake together. Thus for a stake of 100 units we get a return of 100 A equals 336.11 units, representing odds of 2.3611 to 1, which is far less than the true 3 to 1. Odds of 2.3611 to 1 represent a percentage of 29.752%, and multiplying by 4 for the total number of equally likely outcomes gives a total book of 119.01%. Thus the over-under is slightly more than doubled by combining 2 single bets into a double. In general, the combined over-under on a double, expressed as a percentage, is calculated from the individual books B1 and B2, expressed as decimals, by OD equals B1 B2 100 to 100. In the example we have OD equals 1.0909 1.0909 100 to 100 equals 19.01%. This massive increase in potential profit for the bookmaker is the main reason why bookmakers pay bonuses for the successful selection of winners in multiple bets. Compare offering a 25% bonus on the correct choice of 4 winners from 4 selections in a Yankee, for example, when the potential over-round on a simple fourfold of races with individual books of 120% is over 107%. This is why bookmakers offer bets such as Lucky 15, Lucky 31 and Lucky 63. Offering double the odds for 1 winner and increasing percentage bonuses for 2, 3 and more winners. In general, for any accumulator bet from 2 to I selections, the combined percentage over-round of books of B1, B2, B given in terms of decimals, is calculated by B1 B2 B 100 to 100. For example, the previously mentioned fourfold consisting of individual books of 120% gives an over-round of 1.20 1.20 1.20 1.20 100 to 100 equals 107.36%. Settling winning bets. In settling winning bets, either decimal odds are used or 1 is added to the fractional odds. This is to include the stake in the return. The place part of each way bets is calculated separately from the win part. The method is identical, but the odds are reduced by whatever the place factor is for the particular event. All bets are taken as win bets unless each way is specifically stated. All show use of fractional odds, replaced by decimal odds if decimal odds known. Non-runners are treated as winners with fractional odds of 0. Fractions of pence in total winnings are invariably rounded down by bookmakers to the nearest penny below. Calculations below for multiple bet wagers result in totals being shown for the separate categories, and therefore overall returns may not be exactly the same as the amount received from using the computer software available to bookmakers to calculate total winnings. Singles equals, win single, for example a £100 single at 9-2. Total staked equals a £100, returns equals a £100 equals a £100 5.5 equals a £550, each way single, for example a £100 each way single at 11-4. Total staked equals a £200, returns equals a £100 equals a £100 3.75 equals a £375, returns equals a £100 equals a £100 1.55 equals a £155, total returns if selection wins equals a £530. If only placed equals a £155. Multiple bets equals, each way multiple bets are usually settled using a default win-to-win, place-to-place method, meaning that the bet consists of a win accumulator and a separate place accumulator. However, A more uncommon way of settling these type of bets is each way, in which the returns from one selection in the accumulator are split to form an equal stake each way bet on the next selection, and so on until all selections have been used. The first example below shows the two different approaches to settling these types of bets. Double, for example, a £100 each way double with winners at 2-1 and 5-4. Total staked equals a £200. Note: win to win, place to place will always provide a greater return if all selections win, whereas each way provides greater compensation if one selection is a loser, as each of the other winners provide a greater amount of place money for subsequent selections. Treble, for example, a £100 treble with winners at 3-1, 4-6 and 11-4. Total staked equals a £100, returns equals a £100, a equals a £2,500, accumulator, for example, a £100 each way 5-fold accumulator with winners at evens, 11-8, 5-4, 1-2 and 3-1. Total staked equals a £200. Note: all up to win means there are insufficient participants in the event for place odds to be given. The only place therefore is first place, for which the win odds are given. Returns equals a £100, a equals a £6,412 and 50 pennies, returns equals a £100, a equals a £502 and 3 pennies, total returns equals a £6,914 and 80 pennies. Equals full cover bets equals, Trixie. Yankee. Trixie, Yankee, Canadian, Heinz, Super Heinz and Goliath form a family of bets known as full cover bets which have all possible multiples present. Examples of winning Trixie and Yankee bets have been shown above. The other named bets are calculated in a similar way by looking at all the possible combinations of selections in their multiples. Note: a double may be thought of as a full cover bet with only two selections. Should a selection in one of these bets not win, then the remaining winners are treated as being a wholly successful bet on the next family member down. For example, only 2 winners out of 3 in a Trixie means the bet is settled as a double. Only 4 winners out of 5 in a Canadian means it is settled as a Yankee. Only 5 winners out of 8 in a Goliath means it is settled as a Canadian. The place part of each way bets is calculated separately using reduced place odds. Thus, an each way Super Heinz on 7 horses with 3 winners and a further 2 placed horses is settled as a win Trixie and a place Canadian. Virtually all bookmakers use computer software for ease, speed and accuracy of calculation for the settling of multiples bets. Equals full cover bets with singles equals, patent. Patent, lucky 15, lucky 31. Lucky 63 and higher lucky bets form a family of bets known as full cover bets with singles which have all possible multiples present together with single bets on all selections. An examples of a winning patent bet has been shown above. The other named bets are calculated in a similar way by looking at all the possible combinations of selections in their multiples and singles. Should a selection in one of these bets not win, then the remaining winners are treated as being a wholly successful bet on the next family member down. For example, only 2 winners out of 3 in a patent means the bet is settled as a double and 2 singles. Only 3 winners out of 4 in a lucky 15 means it is settled as a patent. Only 4 winners out of 6 in a lucky 63 means it is settled as a lucky 15. The place part of each way bets is calculated separately using reduced place odds. Thus, an each way lucky 63 on 6 horses with 3 winners and a further 2 placed horses is settled as a win patent and a place lucky 31. Algebraic interpretation, returns on any bet may be considered to be calculated as stake unit or odds multiplier. The overall odds multiplier is a combined decimal odds value and is the result of all the individual bets that make up a full cover bet, including singles if needed. For example, if a successful £10 Yankee returned £461 and 35 pennies, then the overall odds multiplier is 46.135. If A, B, C, D represent the decimal odds, that is, then an OM can be calculated algebraically by multiplying the expressions, etc. together in the required manner and subtracting 1. If required, may be replaced by examples 3 selections with decimal odds A, B and C. Expanding, B plus 1, C plus 1, algebraically gives ABC plus A plus AC plus BC plus A plus B plus C plus 1. This is equivalent to the OM for a patent plus 1. Therefore, to calculate the returns for a winning patent, it is just a case of multiplying, and together and subtracting 1 to get the OM for the winning bet, that is OM equals, B plus 1, C plus 1, A 1. Now multiply by the unit stake to get the total return on the bet. For example, the winning patent described earlier can be more quickly and simply evaluated by the following: total returns equals £2 A, 4/6 plus 2, A1, equals £99 and 33 pennies, ignoring any bonuses, a 50 pence each way lucky 63 with 4 winners, 2-1, 5-2, 7-2 and 6-4, and a further placed horse, 9-2, can be relatively easily calculated as follows: returns equal 0.50 A, 2 firsts plus 2, A1, equals A. £172 and 75 pennies, or more simply is 0.50 A, returns equal 0.50 A, 2 fifths plus 2, A1, equals £11 and 79 pennies, or more simply is 0.50 A, total returns equals £184 and 54 pennies, for the family of full cover bets that do not include singles. An adjustment of the calculation is made to leave just the doubles, trebles and accumulators. Thus, a previously described winning £10 Yankee with winners at 1-3, 5-2, 6-4 and evens has returns calculated by £10 A, 1/3 plus 2, A1 A, 1/3 plus 1, plus equals £999 and 16 pennies. In effect, the bet has been calculated as a lucky 15 minus the singles. Note that the total returns value of £999 and 16 pennies is a penny higher than the previously calculated value, as this quicker method only involves rounding the final answer, and not rounding at each individual step. In algebraic terms, the OM for the Yankee bet is given by OM equals B plus 1, C plus 1, D plus 1, A1. In the days before software became available for use by bookmakers and those settling bets and licensed betting offices, this method was virtually de rigueur for saving time and avoiding the multiple repetitious calculations necessary in settling bets of the full cover type. Settling other types of winning bets, up and down. Round robin. A round robin with 3 winners is calculated as a trixie plus 3 up and down bets with 2 winners in each. A round robin with 2 winners is calculated as a double plus 1 up and down bet with 2 winners plus 2 up and down bets with 1 winner in each. A round robin with 1 winner is calculated 2 up and down bets with 1 winner in each. Flag and super flag bets may be calculated in a similar manner as above, using the appropriate full cover bet together with a required number of 2 winner and 1 winner up and down bets. Note: expert bet settlers before the introduction of bet settling software would have invariably used an algebraic type method together with a simple calculator to determine the return on a bet. Algebraic interpretation: if A, B, C, D represent the decimal odds, that is, then an odds multiplier OM can be calculated algebraically by multiplying the expressions, etc. together in the required manner and adding or subtracting additional components. If required, may be replaced by examples. See also, Statistical Association Football Predictions. Notes. References: Sydney, C. The Art of Legging, Maxline International. Sydney, C. The Art of Legging, The History, Theory, and Practice of Bookmaking on the English Turf, 3rd edition, Rotex Publishing 2003, 224 pp. ISBN 978-1-872254-06-7. Definitive, and extensively revised and updated 3rd edition on the history, theory, practice and mathematics of bookmaking, plus the mathematics of off-course betting, bets and their computation and liability control. Further reading, Finding an Edge, Ron Loftus, USSC North Charleston, Create Space, 2011, 144 pp. How to Make a Book, Phil Bull, London, Morrison and Gibb Limited, 1948, 160 pp. The Book on Bookmaking, Ferd Rombola, California, Romford Press, 1984, 147 pp. ISBN 978-0-935536-37-9. The Art of Bookmaking, Malcolm Boyle, High Stakes Publishing 2006. Secrets of Successful Betting, Michael Adams, Rasiform, 2002. The Mathematics of Games and Gambling, Edward W. Packel, Mathematical Association of America, 2006. The Mathematics of Gambling, Edward O. Thorpe, L. Stewart, 1984. Maximin Hedges, Jean-Claude Doderian, Mathematics Magazine, Volume 51, No. 3, pages 188-192. Carnap and de Finetti on Bets and the Probability of Singular Events, The Dutch Book Argument Reconsidered. Klaus Hillig, The British Journal for the Philosophy of Science, Volume 29, No. 4, pages 325-346. Tests of the Efficiency of Racetrack Betting Using Bookmaker Odds, Ron Bird, Michael McRae, Management Science, Volume 33, No. 12, pages 152-156. Why is there a favourite long-shot bias in British racetrack betting markets? Leighton Vaughan Williams, David Patton. The Economic Journal, Volume 107, No. 440, pages 150-158. Optimal Determination of Bookmakers' Betting Odds, Theory and Tests, by John Fingleton and Patrick Waldron, Trinity Economic Paper Series, Technical Paper No. 96/9, Trinity College, University of Dublin, 1999. Odds That Don't Add Up. Mike Fletcher, Teaching Mathematics and Its Applications, 1994, Volume 13, No. 4, pages 145-147. Information, Prices and Efficiency in a Fixed Odds Betting Market, Peter F. Pope, David A. Peel, Economica, New Series, Volume 56, No. 223 pages 323-341. A Mathematical Perspective on Gambling, Molly Maxwell, MIT Undergraduate Journal of Mathematics, Volume 1 pages 123-132. Probability Guide to Gambling, The Mathematics of Dice, Slots, Roulette, Baccarat, Blackjack, Poker, Lottery and Sport Bets, Catalin Barboianu, Infarum, 2006, 316 pp. ISBN 973-87520-3-5. External links, Optimal Price Setting in Fixed Odds Betting Markets Under Information Uncertainty by Vasiliki A. Makropoulou of Athens University of Economics and Business and Raphael N. Markellos of Loughborough University.